So what's up, Sussex Squad? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Prince Harry, there is still fallout going on in the UK from you actually showing the royals how to do things. William has let out a slew of royalists actually saying, it doesn't matter. I'm mad I wasn't consulted. How dare you? I'm never gonna forgive you, Harry. This is what William wants Harry to know. Harry is just shrugging his shoulders, going about his business, saying, hi, Papa, and leaving. But they are saying that Charles and Camilla have hatched up a scheme, and they think that they have one stone and it's two birds. I talked about it in my last video a little bit, and I do think this is pretty true. Let me give you the first thing that's going on. The obvious one. William is lazy. William is revolting. William can't stand Charles. He barely tolerates Camilla, okay? He can't stand Charles. He doesn't do anything Charles tells him, and he's not working. This man got Charles out there working like the rent is due, and he has cancer. Meanwhile, Kate is literally still taking photos in that stupid wig on tree trunks talking about, I have a new perspective on life. And again, not to take away anything for her maybe cancer plight, but you're literally making a 70 or 80 something year old man with cancer do all your work. I get it, Kate, but you had resources, you had helpers, you have a billionaire husband, you had whole clinics cleared out to treat you. I get the fact that you were facing something with your own mortality, maybe, but you had the best of the best and you are cured. So what's the issue now? Where's this thing? Your job that you are paid for every year, that you have to take that money and pay your mom because creditors are still looking for her. How ghetto. Bill collectors are still calling the future queen's mother. Anyway, right? The whole point of the matter is, every single time Charles wants William to step on the plate, he calls Harry in. William is so jealous of Harry that is the only time him and Kate actually move. This is the most work and movement we've seen all year just because Harry stopped by. And even with Kate donning an apron that said MM, you're so clever, Kate. You're clever. You are almost funnier than you are a better dresser. I don't know you're either the your humor is only eclipsed by your dressing sense, okay? Which I guess was supposed to be Meghan Markle, because even when they're trying to get headlines, they have to invoke Meghan somehow. And Kate has to let us know, I was the one that was bullied. Okay, Kate, right? You dress like the school bully. Anyway, so there's that going. And Charles is right. It lit a fire under him. I think Charles is using Harry as a pawn. I think that Harry might be happy to be used as a pawn because he misses his only living parent. I still think you can love your parent from afar, right? Love your parent from afar, or love your parent but not come back to the racist royal duties that literally tried to get your wife, the Princess Diana special, right? So there's that going on. But people are saying that now that Camilla's got into it because she's always had a vendetta against Harry, because Harry's the one to see her for her works and call her out. Meanwhile, William, you can call him William Parker Bowles or whatever her name is. They're saying that Camilla is hatching a plan. They're saying that, let me map this out correct because there's so many things going on. William can't stand Harry. Oddly enough, Harry should feel about William the way William feels about him. There is no forgiveness. I'm done with you. I don't want to hear anything. Harry wants to come closer. Camilla has put a bug in Charles's ear, and I think this would be something that is Camilla level. That they should bring Harry back in a limited capacity. Not make him a royal worker, but have some type of event, some type of state dinner, just something when Harry is invited as the king's guest. Maybe bring him to Balmoral. Something that can give the royal reporters what they need. Because here's the thing. Everybody's excited about Harry being there because royal gossip is so slow. I think part of the reason why William and Kate want to move to Never Never Land is because William wants to starve the royal rota. He has contempt for them just like Harry does, okay? So Camilla's like, listen, Harry and Meghan have starred the royal rota. They've kept us so far apart that we can't even make up stories about them. Because you know Camilla's like this with royal rota. We can't even make up stories about them. So if we draw Harry closer, even if it's like an unofficial informal invite, and get him there, that's going to be enough while he's on British soil to start some stories about him. Once we can start stories about him, we don't need it right now because we need Harry to come closer. But once we can get him to start stories about him, this is going to feed the gossip cycle. And then they can leave us alone. And it'll feed the gossip cycle. Now, what are those stories going to be? Well, this is where, if these reports can be believed, Camilla's devious nature comes in. Because I truly believe the stories are going to be about Harry and another woman. Let's not forget they are the kings and queens of projection. And here's the thing, it doesn't need to be true. We all know it's not true. All they need to do is get a picture of Harry looking like he's being flirty with a woman, looking like there's something inappropriate going on. And for those of you all being like, Harry would never, he wouldn't. But look at the way that they sent that girl in to infiltrate Harry's charity. And before you know it, it's in front of the charity review, and he's literally been ousted out of a charity that him and his best friend started in honor of his mom. And it was ousted by William's people. Now, Harry's a good guy, but if he does start coming back to the UK, I can see Camilla and them sending somebody with a Camilla Parker Bowles spirit to go to one of the engagements that Harry's invited to, and maybe stand a little bit close to him, touch his tie and laugh. Do something that on camera looks inappropriate so they can start the whole thing about, oh my God, Harry's back. He misses London. He wants a London girl. He's cheating on Meghan. And from that, one, you just gave the tabloids more gossips. Two, you literally put Harry in his place. Three, you started gossip that potentially, in your mind, you hope will drive a wedge between Harry and Meghan. Because even though it might not be true, nobody wants the whole world gossiping about the state of your marriage, especially when this is the same royal family that tried to do everything they could to break your wife. I'm sure Meghan still has PTSD from what happened to her on Saltine Island. Okay? I'm sure she still has PTSD. But think about it. If these reports can be believed, and it sounds pretty believable to me, this sounds right up Camilla's alley. Make him feel comfortable now. Oh, dear boy, invite him informally. Tell him you want him to come as your son. He's there at a state dinner. He's at an award. Maybe you invite him for something with the Invictus Games. You guys decide to show up. And then there are royal photographers there that get off-camera shots of a woman standing too close, being too flirty, looking up, just something to start a narrative and speculation. And hopefully from that starts problems with Meghan and Harry, and eventually leads to, because the crescendo will keep growing. They'll keep making up more and more stories. And then eventually Meghan gets tired of it and she leaves, or at the very least, Meghan will be in the same place that Kate is at with, who's the one girl? Rose Hanbury. The way that she cannot escape that. Nobody even has pictures of them, but the media, and that makes Kate so mad that she can't even have this picture perfect version of her marriage with William. I think they want the same thing for Meghan and Harry. I say all this to say that I think that Charles and Camilla, especially Camilla, is setting a trap for Harry. What's his name? The bald one, right? The sibling. Okay? He is mad that once again, Harry has shown him who the real king of hearts is. Okay? Who the real prince of the hearts is. And William is so competitive and so jealous, he don't like. So again, William's jealous at heart. William wants to take Harry out just because Harry reminds him how mediocre he is. Harry reminds him of how he didn't get Diana's jeans or her hair. Harry reminds him the man he isn't. Meghan reminds William and Kate that their marriage is crap. Meghan reminds Kate how bad William treats her. They want Harry out of there and they want to hurt Meghan's feelings, right? Camilla can't stand Harry because Harry's never accepted her. And Harry is so much like his mom, I think it just irks her soul. And she wants to punish him. She is vindictive and she wants to teach him a lesson. I think Charles is mad at Harry because Harry reminds him of a woman he couldn't stand. And he wants Camilla to teach her a lesson because Camilla is Charles's Rottweiler. And they want the first Black woman and her children completely cut out from the royal family. Again, I say all this to say, I think Harry's walking into a trap. And I think the trap has been laid for Harry to lower his guard so they can draw him into some dumb-ish around the time the Invictus Games are. Because don't forget, the Royals think long-term. Draw him into some dumb-ish and get him to lower his guard so he is embarrassed, he is humiliated. During the Invictus Games, they are going to start some type of scandal or leak something that embarrasses the Invictus Games. The Charity Commission is probably going to get involved because they already got the Diana thing. The Invictus Games is next. And they're going to do something to try to embarrass and humiliate Harry and Meghan and their marriage. And all of this, again, there's 16 different plots going on, but they all lead to the same place. Humiliate Harry, embarrass Harry, destroy Harry and Meghan. Again, for those of y'all saying that's his father, yeah, know thy enemy. That is his father. And Charles has said over and over and over, between anyone and Camilla, you know who's winning. So you have that going on. You know William is as jealous as it comes, baby. I'm really, really worried for Harry. I hope when he gets home, Meghan gives him a talking to and reminds him that he is dealing with a pit of vipers. But something tells me, because that's the one thing Harry can't do, he always goes back to that abusive family. Baby, I don't know what y'all think in the comments. I do believe these rumors are true, and if the people are already reporting on it, I'm sure Meghan has already clocked that tea. I hope she keeps Harry safe, because we can't take another freedom flight. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.